Hello, Faith Leader, and welcome to Breaktime. Today, Psalm 5:9 says, "Not a word from their mouth can be trusted. Their heart is filled with malice. Their throat is an open grave, and their tongues, they tell lies." Now, if you're thinking, man, David, what's wrong with you? Have you ever been in a place where you felt like the pressure around you is so strong because of the enemies that are around you? And so David, just the passage before, asked God to lead him. And now he's saying, God, these are my enemies. These are the people that are around me. Their tongues are filled with lies. And if you ever realized, have you ever been surrounded by people like that their tongues are filled with lies? Not a word from their mouth can be trusted. Their heart is filled with malice. It all goes in hand. So I'm going to say a couple things about this passage because there's 2 points. If we want to be led, we have to learn to follow. And so even in the midst of pressure, David was calling out for God to lead him. But realizing the forces around him were also calling out for their attention. The enemy was calling out for David's attention, wanted to absorb him, wanted him to take his eyes from God to look upon his enemies. And once you do that, once I do that, and I've done this, once I start focusing on the enemy, once I start focusing on those who are lying, or maybe after my reputation, maybe after your reputation, or whatever people are, maybe somebody's done something harmful to you. And so it can absolutely grab our energy and absorb it. And we can be led by the enemy. And we seriously can. When they get our attention, when we get focused on them to the point that we turn from following God and we start absorbing ourselves in what the enemy's doing, we start following that. I'm not saying you start doing evil things, but it absorbs you to the point that you're allowing it to lead you. You're allowing it to control you. It's happened to you. I know it's happened to you because it's happened to me. That's just part of trying to live in a world that's filled with decay. And so lying was one of the things that you could see this over and over in Psalms. It irritated David because once a lie is spoken, words go out into the atmosphere and people grab them and they can believe them as truth. And so some lies may have been spoken to you about you. And so people may have believed some of the things that have been said. And so instead of David focusing upon that, he realized that was the enemy, but he wasn't being led by it. He wasn't being controlled by it. He was being led by the Lord. And you have the same option, my friend. Have a blessed day.